let's go on to the next story. G.I. Joe reboot. New G.I. Joe movie is being developed, says producer. Transformers Rise of the Beasts producer Lorenzo D. Bonaventura says a new film in the G.I. Joe franchise is actively being developed. Well, not with any writers, it isn't. Not right now. Snake Eyes. God, I don't know what the hell they were thinking with Snake Eyes. I liked certain aspects of Snake Eyes, but it was more of a Storm Shadow origin story than a Snake Eyes story. God. Again, you got all this source material for G.I. Joe, and you just throw it out the window because you're trying to shoehorn in a story that you thought that you had before into a property that you shouldn't have any business doing that. Snake Eyes is a property that they shoehorned in this story. You can just, it reeks of it, right? Because Snake Eyes wasn't a character that you, like, he was a butthead. He was a moron in that movie, right? You didn't side with him. So what does this producer say about this? Quote, we actually developed a pilot with Amazon. This was before Paramount Plus, just as Paramount Plus was coming in. It didn't pan out. We have a lot of conversations about what we could do with it as a film, and so I would have to say most likely you're going to see that come to fruition. How soon is always impossible to say. For a long time, there were no active conversations. There's a lot going on right now because G.I. Joe should be just a complement to Transformers. They just haven't done it with respect, because G.I. Joe, the original animated movie, the cartoon, started off with a musical number, guys. If you remember, it started off with a big song, Cobra. It was kind of like, that's the tone that's hard to capture in live action, because you've got this big song going on, but there's big action going on in the background with Cobra attacking New York City and stuff like that. That's something that's very hard to adapt into live action. But that's what made G.I. Joe so big, because it was far out there. It was fantastical. Cobra had all these wonderful machines and stuff like that. Trucks and vehicles that you wanted to collect so you can put your figures on them and stuff. It's a cash cow sitting there waiting to be milked, and studios just haven't been able to get it right. They just haven't understood the source material. You got to pay respects to it. Yes, some people will say, well, it's fan service. You shouldn't give fans what they want. But no, you're learning the hard way then. That just give the fans what they want. Yeah, imagine a G.I. Joe movie with Sergeant Slaughter as the leader, Pfeiffer says. Well, that'd be cool. I like Sergeant Slaughter, the wrestler. I liked how he got in with the G.I. Joes there, too. That was really cool stuff. His storyline tied in with the Marauders, right? The swamp guys, Zoltar, or whatever his name was. Zoltan, or something, right? Yeah. But, so... the producer of the new Transformers Rise of the Beast movie, Lorenzo de Bonaventura, says that there's active development on a new G.I. Joe. You can pretty much say that the Snake Eyes movie, that attempt, that's dead. They're not going to continue with that. They've got it. They have the opportunity to start off the G.I. Joe, start it off well, and tie it in with the Transformers, because they did that in the comics. They can do that, and I don't know why they don't. But if anything more develops on this, the writer strike will put a huge dent in pause in development of this. But as soon as I get any more word on this, that we now know that this producer wants to make a new G.I. Joe, I'll keep my eye out for that, because, hey, I like everything movie news here on Mirror Domains.